campaign has been explained. So, without being repetitive, what I would like to try to convey in my humble way is that the idea of convening this media briefing or media interaction is to make ourselves realize that the subject of pensioners is no less important than many other subjects which the media might find more interesting, including topical subjects of today. And if you think deeply, this plus 60 is a huge workforce in India. We have a biphasic lifespan in India. Although we take pride in saying that more than 70% of the population is below the age of 40, it is true. India is emerging as a youth resource pool of the world. But at the same time, the absolute number of plus 60 is also on the increase. So even though 70% is below 40, the total number of those plus 60 has increased many fold compared to what it was in 1947. And therefore, it's also the responsibility of, as Prime Minister keeps saying, that when we talk of Amrit Kaal and reaching that in 2047, he expects each and every citizen of India, rightly so, to contribute in whatever manner he or she can. So it's also important for us to devise methods of making the best use of their potential, their energy, particularly when they are superannuating at the age of 60, at the prime of their expertise, experience, the area where they have been working, and also health-wise. And therefore, I'll give you figures apart from what has been told to you. The total number of pensioners in India today is 3 crore, out of which the total number in the central government is 70 lakh. Now the statistical catch in this figure is that the total number of working employees, that is pre-superannuation, is just 40 lakhs. So it's been a sea change. The graph has gone the other way around. Over 25 years back, we had more number of working employees compared to the pensioners. Even about 10 years back, we had about 50 lakh here, 50 lakh there, almost equal number. Gradually, plus 60, the pensioners number began to increase. They went up to 60 lakh, 50, now it's gone up to 70 lakh in central government, and if you compare also including the states, it's gone about 3 crore. So now, this is also huge. Also, I will not say liability, but also something that the state exchequer has to bear with. So when the state exchequer is bearing with this huge expense, you cannot just let them sit idle, particularly when they are not ready to sit idle. Now, even more interestingly, I'll tell you, according to the recent reforms, the pension scale also keeps going. After the age of 90, it is about 75% of the salary. After 100, it becomes equal to salary. And you will be amused when I tell you that plus 90, we have about 1 lakh. So we have 1 lakh pensioners who are plus 90, drawing 75% of the salary. And they are unwilling to work. And plus 100, we have 8,000 who are drawing pension as much as the salary which they drew at the age of 60. So I'm trying to put across to you a different perspective of this. Now, this is up to us to streamline their energies. And if we don't, then what happens is that, as I said, they are at the prime of their health and expertise and also gain everything from the part of the working. They find themselves either nothing to do, and their energies sometimes also tend to get channelized in a wrong way. They put an RBI against the office where they work because they know everything in and out. So, I have been saying this, and that's why in the last 10 years, we thought it's equally our responsibility not only to bring ease of living or ease of working for the government employees, but also so for those who were no longer employees, but you are still employable in one way or the other. Not employable necessarily that you give them a government job, but you employ them, engage them in some kind of assignment. So therefore, we started a number of initiatives. For example, we have this Bhavishya portal, we have this Anubhav, we have these pre-retirement workshops, which are able to also counsel the superannuating person and make him also realize what he is best meant for. So that we can later on also have them in the advisory of the departments or elsewhere. Similarly, they are now writing Anubhav, an account just before retirement, to tell us, that's kind of a research manual for us, to tell us what was their experience in their 30, 40 years. And from that, we also learn some of the systemic pitfalls, which we try to correct, and which we have under Prime Minister Modi done to a great extent. Like, for example, the first batch of Anubhav we had, there was a lady who wrote that I was interested in tourism, I spent all my life in tourism department, I wanted to upgrade myself, to enhance my capacity. I kept trying, finally the government gave me the permission, I went abroad, came back over 2 years later, and by the time I came back, I had been transferred over to another department. But she was so passionate about it that she kept trying getting back to tourism, which she did manage, but by that time she was already superannuated. So, since the first way I myself read the account, I said this is something that we have to pick up. So, this is an exercise which goes beyond simply the statistics of how many people we have engaged. Now to why this campaign of DLC and why these adalats. When we came in 2014, we realized that this was not only inconvenient, it was also inhuman to ask somebody to go to the doctor and to get testified that he was alive. So working in the hospital, I had learned that it's always imperative to get a death certificate. The patient's attendants are very keen. And वहाँ से फोन आ जाता है बिहार से ही, क्योंकि पेशेंट एक्सपायर हो गया भाई वापस आते आते वो जरूर ले रहा, because the survivors are worried about the gratuity, the insurance, etc. When they won't get a death certificate. But to ask a living being to get a life certificate, and the life certificate has become such a dogmatic thing. Each year you had to actually put it in. If you had a life certificate of 2023, you would get pension with it. But if the record did not contain the life certificate 2022, your pension 2022 will get held up. And this happened. There was a case in Goa. The person got the pension for this year because he had put the certificate in his file, and the person dispersing this said, I can't take this also. I know you are alive, but my file is incomplete, so I will be inviting displeasure for the business order. So we thought let's make you, earlier we thought we could do away with it, but then some of the banking sector friends suggested to us that no, there are certain misappropriations also have been noticed. Then they brought in my notice, a case of an employee whose father had died, a young man whose father had died, and he was drawing family pension for as long as 6 years before it was detected, after the death of his father. He got all the checkbook, signed, and he was managing the life certificate from there and there. So then we thought, okay, we'll have this, but we'll devise some easy method. And the Modi government has been known to make the optimum use of technology. I think never before in governance technology was used to such an extent, because Prime Minister Modi has been himself pushing it, whether it's Digital India, with all sorts of technological initiatives at his best and his own personal intervention. So we introduced biometry for the pensioners. Now, as I said, the age span is increasing. So somewhere around the end of the last year, we were made to realize, or it was brought to our notice, that after certain age, maybe after 75, 80, the finger marks also become not very reliable. So I am glad to say, and also proud to share, that I think we were the first in the government sector to have introduced face recognition technology, which was notoriously being used by the crime world. So now the pensioner simply, there's a WhatsApp, he looks into the camera of his mobile, and as Mr. Srinivasan said, within 20 seconds, it gets verified with his Aadhaar number, and the life certificate is made available to the counter in the concerned bank. And this has become handy. And I must compliment all the pensioner associations here, which are representatives, they have been very cooperative, because all these campaigns can succeed only when you have a mass cooperation. And like Swachhata campaign, like some of the other famous campaigns of the Modi government, this also became a mass campaign. We saw pensioner associations taking up the initiative of preparing the list of plus 80, plus 90, very old, elderly pensioners, going to their houses, and gradually also involving the youngsters in the household, the teenagers in the household becoming active to get their grandpa's face recognition, also going to the neighbors. And that is the result, as has been spelled out to you. I don't have to repeat those figures, but what I would tell you is that if I said it is 8,000 plus 100 pensioners we have today in India, out of that, as many as 1,300 have already got the digital life certificate. So that's a big number. And out of plus 91 lakh, we have 25% who have already been converted to digital life certificate. Now, if you, out of these digital life certificates that we have, which is total 38, total 1.5 crore, out of the 1.5 crore pensioners have availed of DLC, and out of this, 9.6 lakh have already used face recognition technology. Others may not be requiring it because the biometry will be still relevant, but we would also pursue it further. So what I'm trying to say is that there is a huge progress made. It's also not only a campaign to facilitate the dispersal of pension at the doorstep, but also to bring in ease and convenience to the life of the elderly citizen.